And welcome. I'm Jude Creamer, and today we're diving into a topic that's on everyone's mind here in the Sunshine State, and that's homeowners insurance in Florida. If you live here or you're thinking of moving here, you've probably heard about rising premiums, companies pulling out, and all kinds of confusing headlines. So I've invited Brenna Miller here today. She is a licensed insurance agent with Urban Young, and she knows this market inside and out and has helped me many, many times. So she's going to help you make sense of what's really going on and how you can protect your home and your wallet. So Brenna, let's get into it. Welcome.
Thanks, Jude. I appreciate it. It's so good to see you. And I love this series that you're doing and educating your potential clients. It's such important information. So thanks for putting it out there.
Well, thanks for volunteering to come and answer these questions. So I'm going to start with the first one, really broad. What the heck's going on with homeowners insurance in Florida right now?
Well, in short, the answer is a lot. We are actually in a period now that is the opposite of what the rumors have been saying, that everybody's pulling out and shutting down and premiums are going up. We actually have an influx for the first time in several years of lots of new carriers coming either to the market in Florida for the first time or returning after a considerable hiatus. And that's good news for us. And
Oh,
also, that means that fewer and fewer people are going to Citizens Property Insurance Corporation, which, if your listeners know or your viewers know, has always been intended to be the insurer of last resort, but it has not been the case. But we're working toward that being the case, and that's a good thing for everybody.
oh, good. So what are the biggest factors that determine my premiums in this environment?
One noteworthy new consideration, because of so many new carriers coming in, is insurance score. We have been lulled into a false sense of security in that Citizens does not look at insurance score. It has no impact on premiums. But now that we're going with all of these other private market carriers, they do look at your insurance score, which includes information about coverage that you've maintained over the years, claims that you've had over the years, as well as a soft credit pull. It does not impact, it doesn't show as an inquiry on anybody's credit report, but it does take your credit into consideration and it does impact the premium. So that's one new factor. But the factors that have always been there and still continue to be there are the construction type of the home, like a concrete block masonry home versus a frame wood construction home is going to be rated more favorably. Newer construction is always rated more favorably. And then wind mitigation features of your roof. And that is why we always get the all important wind mitigation report, which shows how the roof is attached to the home, the shape of the roof, how old the roof is, whether it meets certain Florida building codes, and also hurricane rated impact windows. Those all have huge impacts.
All right, that's a lot to consider. So if I'm buying a home, what should I be asking about insurance before I make an offer?
Well, it would never hurt because you don't want to buy a house and find out that the insurance makes it unaffordable. And that happens sometimes, occasionally. So it wouldn't hurt to ask for a copy of the current owner's insurance if they're willing to share that. They may or may not be. But regardless of any of that, if you're talking about flood insurance, you should always ask for a copy if the current owner has flood insurance. And if so, may I have a copy of your flood insurance declarations page? And the reason for that is that even if you're not in a flood zone, the flood insurance premium will be significantly better if you are buying the home from someone who has had an NFIP policy on the property in the past, because there's glide path pricing on their policy that you can retain. And that is not the same thing as assuming or taking over their existing policy. It's you getting your own bright, shiny new flood policy, but you're enjoying the benefit of their glide path. And so in the case that somebody is not in a flood zone today, there's a school of thought that that's going to be changing, that flood maps are going to be changing, and you potentially could get moved into what's considered a flood zone. But if you've already got your flood insurance in place, the max that you can go up is capped every year. So it's good to have it. First of all, it's actual coverage that you might need, but also it might be a cost saving tool for you.
Well, that brings me to, I understand that there's going to be some requirements on flood insurance coming up, and I'm not sure who's requiring it, whether it's citizens or regular homeowners insurance. Can you speak to the difference in that and how it relates to flood
I
insurance?
can. I can. So right now, if you have a mortgage, if you're buying a home or you own a home and you have a mortgage and your property is in a flood zone, your lender is going to require that you carry flood insurance. So that's just across the board. It's been that way forever. Some people don't have mortgages and they have a little more flexibility. However, Citizens Property Insurance Corporation has implemented a rule and it's coming in phases. By 2027, anybody that has their homeowners insurance with Citizens is going to be required to carry flood insurance, whether they're in a flood zone or not, and whether they have a mortgage or not. As of now, none of the private carriers are following that model. We don't hear any grumbling that that might change. But that's another reason to maybe go ahead and get your flood insurance now, even if that's not going to impact you until the 2027 renewal.
All of that it's constantly changing and it's constantly being updated. So all the more reason to be checking in with you periodically,
That's right.
Yeah.
A moving target for sure. We literally got 2 emails this week of 2 brand new carriers coming into the state. So it's happening.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers in terms of either just standard homeowners insurance in Florida or flood insurance or anything else insurance related?
Well, I would just say that 2 years ago, you see the Progressive commercials and Flo says, bundle your home and auto. And when Citizens was pretty much the only carrier in town, that was not an option. That is no longer the case. We have multiple carriers that will give you a discount if you have your home and your auto insurance with the same agent. Or you could even, companies like Progressive are coming back into the property insurance market after years of not being visible. And those are definitely some good bundles. And it's always a good idea to have all of your insurance in one place because it's a whole risk that needs to be assessed and know all of your exposure and what you need to cover yourself.
And you're a broker, so you work with many different carriers and you can compare one to the other. Is that right?
That's exactly right. In fact, that's exactly what we do for each and every person that comes across my desk. I compare dozens of different carriers and see which one's the best fit for that particular client.
Sounds like a great resource, and you have been a great resource to me. So, Brenna, I really appreciate that. And this has all been incredibly helpful, at least to me. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you breaking it all down. And if you're watching and still have questions about your own insurance options, or you're planning a move to Florida and want to be prepared, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to connect you with Brenna, our trusted professional. And of course, I'm happy to help you with your real estate journey. So until next time. Oh, wait, one more thing. Brenna, where can we find you?
Oh, you can email me at brenna@herbandyoung.com or call 727-250-0225, and my extension is 1036.
And I'm Jude Creamer with HomeSmart, and I can be reached at judecreamer.com, or you want to email me directly, jude@judecreamer.com. Very simple. And my number is 404-610-2907. And until next time, stay informed, stay covered, and stay sunny in the Sunshine State. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Jude.
Bye, Brenna.
Bye.